Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. Keith keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know from pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Music Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia, and today I'm joined with my lovely co-host, Keith.
Lovely, thank you, yes.
And Keith, well, how about you tell our listeners a little bit, a few facts about yourself?
My name is Keith. I love music. I want to talk about it on a podcast, so I'm here.
So we are both here gathered today, and we have a lot of interesting topics to discuss today that I'm really excited about. So we'll just dive right into it. First things first, we're going to discuss about Camp Flog Gnaw, the music festival that just occurred a few days ago in LA, November 9th and 10th at the Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Keith, have you ever been to a music festival?
Yeah, I actually attended Coachella and Outside Lands in 2011. It was pretty fun. I had a good time.
There we go. Yeah, I actually went to Coachella as well a couple years back. It's funny because I don't do well with big crowds of people, but I guess when you're under the influence of alcohol, you get to enjoy the music a lot more. How about you? What was your take on Coachella and Outside Lands?
Well, when I went, I didn't partake that much in substance. I partook in seeing like 36 bands, so my feet really, really hurt by the end of the whole thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, the first day that I was there, I thought I could stand the entire time, and my friend who had been the year previously just kind of laughed at me, and we both ended up meeting, I think it was The Rapture was playing at the end of the night, and we both met there, and he's the same height as me, so when I'm a tall individual, I'm above 6 feet, and he's taller than I am.
Wow.
So when we ended up in the crowd, we stood right next to the sound booth and then leaned on the rest of the crowd for the entire show because our feet and backs hurt so much from standing all day.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's something that you can expect when going to a festival. To be honest, I think some people don't even care about their feet hurting because, again, if you partake in substances, you don't really care about anything.
Some of us go for the music, Cynthia.
Yeah, we're going to go for the music, okay? We're here to talk about the music. So again, Camp Flog Gnaw Carnival, I personally have never attended. It just happened a few days ago.
Do we know how it got its name?
It is it's Tyler the Creator's show or festival, and it's from Odd Future. But I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
I know that it stands for something, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how the name came about. And I don't want to give the people the wrong information. So to be honest, yeah, I have no idea how it came about, but this was a 2-day event. It's an annual festival / carnival curated by artist Tyler the Creator, and it has been held annually since the fall of 2012. And this festival sells out every single year in about like 40 minutes. Right when the tickets go on sale, people are like ready to hop on them. And this festival features a variety of carnival games, rides, and performances. And this year's lineup included performances from major artists such as YG, Solange, Summer Walker, DaBaby, and 21 Savage, just to name a few.
Don't forget Blood Orange and Earl Sweatshirt. They're both pretty awesome, too.
No, yeah, so they had a whole bunch of acts for the lineup. And to be honest, I almost wish I would have went because I would have very much enjoyed listening to all of these artists, and most of these artists I have not seen live. So I definitely, maybe one year, I'll try and hit up Camp Flog Gnaw. And so we're going to dive in to something interesting that happened at Camp Flog Gnaw, which unless you live under a rock, you must have heard Drake getting booed off stage. So
I must live under a rock because when you sent me this story, it was the first time that I had heard of it.
Well, there is a video. I saw it first on Twitter. This girl was live streaming Drake's performance, And I almost had to I had to do a double take just because the caption read people are literally booing, or Drake is literally getting booed off stage. And when I saw the video, I had to double check, is this really from 2019 or is this a past video? Because I was literally shook when I saw that people were booing Drake.
Can you explain the colloquialism shook to me, please?
First of all, I don't even know what that word means. He doesn't know what shook means. I don't even know what whatever he said.
Colloquialism. It's a way to refer to a slang word. So what does the word shook mean?
Shook means you're taken back, almost baffled
okay.
in a sense. Yeah. Throw in some lingo in there for y'all. So yeah, so I was baffled because I was who was going to boo off Champagne Papi, which is his Instagram name. So
okay.
I'm
thank you for clarifying.
I had to clarify. I didn't give him that nickname. That's a name that Drake goes by, Champagne Papi. So yeah, I was really surprised and taken back that people were booing him. Drake made a surprise appearance at Tyler, the Creator's Music Festival. It was the very last act of the second day of the festival. And like I said, in a video that's circling around Twitter and other social media platforms, Drake tells the crowd, I'm here for you tonight. If you want to keep going, I'll keep going tonight. What's up? And members of the audience yelled no and literally booed him off stage, which I think that's so rude to boo any performer off stage. I would never do that.
I mean, what was that music video where he had that really cool dance in the hallway that everybody has memed?
Oh, Hotline Bling?
Hotline Bling. If he was doing the Hotline Bling dance, I could maybe understand it. That's a terrible dance.
What? Okay, Keith and I are going to have to agree to disagree because Hotline Bling is my jam. And he was about to perform that song right after before he got booed off stage. That was the next song to be performed, Hotline Bling, because that's one of Tyler's favorite songs from Drake.
Oh.
So
I've actually never heard the song all the way through.
I wish I could play it right now.
Dance.
No, well, at least you got it. But yeah, so Hotline Bling Drake did not perform at Camp Flog Gnaw that song. And so Drake cuts his set short, about 15 minutes short, and ends the show proceeding to say, it's been love, and he walks off stage.
What does that even mean?
It's been love?
Yeah.
No hard feelings, I'm here for you. I mean, he's still walking away with a check, regardless if the crowd liked him or not. Drake secured the bag. Okay,
you hear that? Performers get your pay in advance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the crowd was apparently disappointed because the surprise guest wasn't Frank Ocean, which was a rumor that had been swirling around for quite some time. And I think Frank Ocean is actually the one living under a rock because he does not appear anywhere. So Frank Ocean has been MIA for a while, and I think that's why the concert goers were upset because they had high hopes of the last act being Frank Ocean, and it ended up being Drake.
Didn't Frank Ocean just put out a new record?
He did put out a new record. So I think that's why the people were upset. And Frank Ocean is an LA native, so having the concert, take place in LA and then him not show up left the audience members a little disappointed. But either way, I would have been so happy seeing Drake. I've never seen him. Have you, Keith?
No, I haven't. And I only know 3 Drake songs, but I love all of them. What's the one that's we're just going home? I can't remember that.
Oh, I know. Just hold on, we're going home.
Yeah, and it's got that
there you go.
Yeah, I love that song.
I cannot sing, so that was the best you guys are going to get out of me.
We'll throw some reverb on it in post. It'll sound great.
Exactly. Just auto-tune it a little bit. We'll be good. And on the website, it explicitly states lineup is subject to change. So I'm not sure why the crowd thought it was acceptable to boo Champagne Papi off the stage when Frank Ocean didn't show, because I feel most lineups for festivals, it states on their website or on their forums or whatever that the lineup can change. So that's almost kind of expected, especially you, Keith, because you went to Outside Lands, you went to Coachella, so don't you think that's kind of expected when attending a festival?
Well, I think that it's just funny that people would be so upset that it wasn't what they wanted, that they could get an entire crowd of people to boo. Isn't Drake a platinum selling artist?
He is. That's what I was going to mention. He's huge. He's everywhere. And that's why again, I was shook, okay? I was baffled when I saw that video on Twitter because I thought it was fake. I was like, there's no way people are booing Drake.
Is this his first performance since the rap battle off that he had a couple of years ago where we found out that he was keeping his son out of Canada because he didn't want to have to pay child support?
Oh my God. Wait, was this his first what?
Performance since that came out. Who was the rapper? Was that? It wasn't Kid Cudi. He did a record with Kanye a couple years ago. I can't remember his name.
Man, you know what? I can't tell you either. I know he had like a little beef with Meek Mill a while back, but they're all good now. They even made a record on Meek Mill's album, so they're good to go. And once all that went down, the next morning, Tyler, the Creator, took to Twitter to yell at his fans because Tyler and Drake are cool. So,
yeah.
You know, that makes Tyler look bad that you're booing his good friend off stage. And I thought this was funny. Tyler changed his Twitter bio to embarrassed by fans right now. That's like, he's so funny. I love Tyler. But anyways, he addressed the situation directly, stating, and I'm not going to, there's some cuss words in the tweet, and I'm not allowed to cuss on the show, so just hear me out. He put, I thought bringing one of the biggest artists on the effing planet to a music festival was fire, but flip side, a little tone deaf knowing the specific crowd it drew. Some created a narrative in their head and acted out like a-holes when it didn't come true, and I don't F with that. So Tyler was scorning his fans via Twitter. And I understand. I mean, like I said, that's pretty rude to boo, you know, a performer off stage.
Yeah, you should just leave if you don't like the performer.
Right. I know. I don't understand. I really don't. Like I said, this whole topic got my blood boiling a little bit because I'm like, you cannot boo Drake off. I love Drake, so I'm a ride or die.
Or as you affectionately say, Champagne Poppy.
Champagne Poppy, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Tyler, he called the crowd entitled and trash and referred to the situation as mob mentality and cancer culture in real life, which I feel with social media, cancel culture has really taken a rise, which is sad. Have you heard of that term, Keith?
Cancer culture?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, say one person does something bad or viewed as not acceptable, mob mentality, right? Like, oh, one person doesn't like you, we all don't like you.
Right.
So, and I don't like that either. And that's exactly what happened in Drake's situation at Camp Flog Gnaw.
I'm sure there were plenty of people in that crowd who were disappointed by the fact that they didn't get to hear a full Drake set.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm sure, you know, not everybody booed him, but they did to the majority of the people who were sitting in the front booed him. And, you know, like I said, who would have thought that someone as big as Drake, a global icon, platinum seller, who has given us bangers left and right, like Hotline Bling.
Can you translate the term bangers for me, please?
Bangers, like bangers, hit songs.
Oh, okay.
Hit songs, So we're going to go on a quick break right now. And when we come back, we're going to discuss more on Camp Flog Gnaw and Kehlani's new R&B track. We'll be right back.
Always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
All right, welcome back to the GSMC Music Podcast. Right before the break, we were talking about Camp Flog Gnaw and how the crowd said nah to Drake.
Good one, Keith. Good one.
I appreciate the courtesy laugh.
Mm-hmm. And so, just as Keith said, Drake did get booed off, but we're going to move on to a different topic today. So today, Kehlani just released a new R&B track titled You Know What's Up. It is now on SoundCloud and YouTube. The song was produced by Antonio Dixon and the Rascals. I'm going to give you guys and Keith a little background on why this song made it to the music show today. Because for those of you who don't know, Kehlani and YG got together a few months back.
Who's YG?
YG 400. Come on now. YG. So he is a rapper, hip hop artist. He's been around for quite some time.
Okay.
I actually went to his concert when I was 16, so like 8 years ago.
So what you're telling me is that I live under a rock.
I think so, a little bit.
Second time we've mentioned that this podcast.
And so the song, You Know What's Up, is Kehlani is making references to her relationship with YG, and this is her response to the allegations of her boyfriend and rapper YG's infidelity during a drunken night at Halloween in Hollywood. So,
wait, as in like this Halloween?
Yes.
As in like 14 days ago?
Wow, you're good at math.
Yeah.
You're good at math. But yes, it was.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I got that wrong. Was it exactly 2 weeks ago?
I don't know. I'm trusting you.
Okay.
But okay, we'll go with 14 days ago. But it was this past Halloween. YG was caught. There were, again, photos circling around Instagram, other social media platforms. And YG was caught kissing another woman, but he's with Kehlani. So that's why I'm like, YG, what are you doing? What are you doing? You cannot do Kehlani like that. And
this isn't the relationship podcast. We should.
I know. But anyway, so this track, You Know What's Up, the track starts off with a muffled audio clip from YG's performance during Rolling Loud Bay Area, where he calls Kehlani on stage and says, "We're in Oakland. It's only right. Kehlani, come give me a kiss." So in the beginning of the song, it's a muffled audio clip from YG's performance at Rolling Loud Bay Area. And so that's how we can 100% confirm that Kehlani's new track that she released today, You Know What's Up, is talking about her relationship and how she's dealing with the infidelity of YG. And in the song, Kehlani opens up and expresses the pain that her partner caused and questions his proclaimed love for her. So, Keith, I'm going to let you and the listeners know. They said this is really crazy because it's been 5 years in the making. That's literally what Kehlani and YG both said, that this relationship, it started as a friendship, and over those 5 years, they both have been with other people, and they say it's been 5 years in the making. And in the song, the following verse from the song dives deeper into her feelings towards YG. It says, "You're still my love. You're still my heart. That's still my date. Still want to be Mrs. Jackson," which is YG's last name.
Is YG his first name?
That's
or
his
are they
stage name.
Okay.
No,
okay.
his real name is like Kenan. It's honestly, I can't even say it. Kenan something Jackson.
Okay.
Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, please, because I don't want to give y'all false information. And the verse continues to say, "Still want to be a co-captain, so don't lose the girl of your dreams. Waited 5 years to be on my team." So that verse really stood out to me because, again, they've been saying, we've been working on this relationship / friendship for the last 5 years. And in the song, she's pretty much saying, like, like, what are you doing? You've been wanting to be on my side these last 5 years. And then this is kind of how, you do me. So
that is not the verse that stood out to me in that song.
No.
The one at the end where she was talking about all of the lewd acts that they committed in the back of a truck was the one that really stood out to me.
That one too, but you know what? I wanted to keep this podcast PG-13, okay?
It is PG. I used the word lewd. I didn't say exactly what they are. You can Google what the word lewd means, and pretty much infer the meaning.
Keith and I have different things stood out to me and Keith in the song. But while acknowledging that she does deserve to be treated and loved better, she admits that she still has love for YG despite the drama. Her love for him, quote, "don't stop," which is the chorus throughout the entire song. Don't stop, don't stop. So honestly, I love this track. I feel it's, You Know What's Up is a track you can play late night while you're driving, in the shower. I actually have a shower playlist, and this song is already in my shower playlist. Do you have one, Keith?
I don't have a shower playlist.
You should get one.
My phone is super old that it's not waterproof, and I don't have a Bluetooth speaker. So, yeah.
You should invest in one because it totally changes I'm all about the vibes. So especially my showers, I want to play some good R&B music and just kind of wind down, relax. So If you guys haven't listened to Kehlani's new track, you know what's up. It is on SoundCloud and YouTube.
You mean SoundCloud, right?
SoundCloud.
Yeah,
What'd I say?
SoundCloud. You said SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. You know what? It could be my accent. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me, okay? All right. So we're going to move on to the next topic. And Keith, do you want to bring us in?
Tonight is the 53rd annual CMA, that's Country Music Association Awards ceremony, which happens in Nashville, Tennessee, according to the notes that I'm definitely not reading right now. The hosts are going to be Dolly Parton, Carrie Underwood, and Reba McEntire. Those are some classic names.
They are. I know. When I was like, oh, all of these ladies are hosting. So it is happening. The CMA Awards is currently going on as Keith and I speak, which that will bring us to our second break. So when we come back, we'll dive deeper into the Country Music Association Awards.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hello and welcome back to the GSMC Music Podcast. Right before we went on break, we were talking about Kehlani's new R&B track, You Know What's Up, and the meaning behind her track, her relationship with YG, which I feel very passionate and involved, even though these celebrities have no idea who I am. So we're moving on to the Country Music Association Awards, which Keith introduced to us right before the break. So again, it's happening currently right now as we're speaking, and the hosts, Dolly Parton, Carrie Underwood, and Reba McEntire, they're like OGs in the country industry, I think, country music industry.
Yeah, and I think Carrie Underwood is the only one who hasn't put out a terrible B movie or been on a bad TV show. She does the intro for Sunday Night Football, so.
You know what? I liked Reba. You can't talk about Reba. I love Reba. I grew up watching that. I think it was Monday through Friday. I played right after school. But no, anyways, we're going to move on. We're going to name some of the CMA award nominees. For the Entertainer of the Year category, some of them include Keith Urban, Carrie Underwood, and Eric Church. Nominees for the Vocal Group of the Year, Lady Antebellum, Little Big Town, and Midland, to name a few. Keith, do you listen to any of these groups?
I do not. I'm not, if I'm being super honest, I'm not a huge country fan, especially with the direction that country has been going in the last few years. I didn't like the song Big Green Tractor by any means necessarily, but it felt a little bit more sincere to country than something like Old Town Road, which is apparently a big deal.
Yeah.
Question mark?
He said question mark? Okay. Well, Keith and I are going to debate about Old Town Road in just a few minutes. But early this morning, a few of the CMA award winners were announced during a special episode of Good Morning America that aired live from Nashville. Maddie and Tay joined host Laura Spencer to reveal two initial categories in country music's most prestigious awards show, with Musgraves, am I saying her name right? Musgraves, taking home Music Video of the Year for Rainbow, while Lil Nas and Billy Ray Cyrus won Musical Event of the Year for their joint remix of Old Town Road.
Lil Nas, that's a cowboy name right there.
That is.
It definitely sounds like Marty Robinson-esque. Marty Robinson is like a classic mid-1900s country artist. He did the song Big Iron. You've probably heard it in like a couple different movies, but it's like classic country, and it has nothing to do with Old Town Road, other than it probably uses the same chord progression because almost every pop song does. Mm-hmm. And that is exactly what I'd qualify Old Town Road as.
Pop?
Yeah, it's 100% a pop song. That's like saying My Achy Breaky Heart from Billy Ray Cyrus back in the 90s was a country song. It wasn't. It was pop country, which is kind of the direction that most of this stuff is going.
Pop country. I mean, I think the song is such a hit because it speaks a lot to the younger generations. And when I mean young, I mean like little kids, like in elementary schools.
What does it say to them? I'm going to take my horse to an Old Town Road.
I know, but
and I'm going to ride till I can't no more. Like, that's a pretty heavy-handed euphemism, in my opinion. I don't know if I want my sixth grader listening to that.
I know. But I've seen so many videos, too, all circling around, like kids singing their hearts out to this song and obviously, remixing some of the lyrics to make it more appropriate. But that track did cause a lot of buzz because just as Keith said, some people, not everyone considers the record to be country. Some consider it to be pop. Some consider it to be other genres. So that is still up for debate. But Old Town Road, produced by Young Keo, Michael Trent Reznor, and Atticus Matthew Rose.
Wait, did you say Michael Trent Reznor? As in Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails?
I did.
No.
Michael Trent Reznor.
It's in the show notes, but I don't believe you. In the comments below, can you please let me know if Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails' success was the one who helped make this monstrosity?
You know what? We got to agree to disagree again, Keith and I. But yeah, so Old Town Road, the remix music video, which was released 5 months ago, it has accumulated almost a whopping 400 million views on YouTube.
Is that a lot of views?
That is a lot of views. 400 million?
Okay. I just wasn't sure because I remember the Ouch Charlie Bit My Finger video has tons and tons of views. So I just wonder how many views that is up to because that was the most viewed video on YouTube for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
Ouch Charlie Bit Me.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Those kids are like 7 and 8 now. I think they redid a video which almost nobody watched, but
almost nobody watched.
It's hard to capture that magic, capture it again. It's just almost impossible to synthesize that situation.
Yeah. Well, I think 400 million views is still a lot of views. Even 1 million is a lot. That's considered to go viral, I believe.
Yeah, I don't have 1 million views of anything.
You and I both. You and I both. And I think I'm pretty interesting. No, I'm kidding. But anything else you'd like to add, Keith, before we wrap this up?
I think that part of the popularity of this song is that, like, whether or not myself or other people who are highly critical of it think of it as country or pop, it does kind of cross some genre boundaries and puts us kind of into a new, interesting space with collaborations of musicians, kind of in a similar way that like streetwear has a lot of different collaborations. So I think Adidas is working with Chanel or Prada or something like that, and that's kind of like a weird crossover. And now we're seeing that same kind of trend in music with like a hip hop or a dance DJ artist, Lil Nas, working with Billy Ray Cyrus. So I think I'm interested to see where that trend and that kind of thing is going to take us as far as pop music is concerned. Not because I'm really excited for the music, but because I'm excited to see how crazy it can get. Maybe eventually we'll see, I don't know, anybody working with anybody, which could provide some pretty interesting music for us to listen to.
No, yeah, I agree. You made some very valid points. I think collabs are everything now because obviously if you come from two different worlds, two different backgrounds, you reach a bigger audience that way. So very smart move of Lil Nas and Billy Ray Cyrus to collab and make this hot track. which is Old Town Road, the remix. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up today's episode on GSMC Music Podcast. Catch us next week for more of your music. I lost my train of thought. More of your music news. So thank you for tuning in. Leave us some nice comments. Like us, rate us, share us. Everything.
Answer all of our questions.
Yeah.
Especially the Trent Reznor one. I've really got to know.
Answer all of it, okay? Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.
See you next week.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.